50-50, 50 technology, 50 marketing. In marketing, what we do is CRM, CMS, ERP is not exactly the only thing that we don't know. We don't do email marketing, SEO, UX, UI, you get it, right? Everything that our customers need to succeed in their digital endeavors. And of course, we have a bunch of programmers and developers as well. My background is there in technology, and I cannot fix this thing.
You're way too intelligent.
Yeah, this is too simple. Oh, okay, it will work anyway. So this is me. I'm the director of the Spanish branch of Novicell. HQ is in Aarhus, in Denmark, city that we often visit. Our colleagues, once a year, we fly all together there. We also are in Copenhagen though, and then we have another office in London. So, let's start. Have you seen no slide about Novicell? If you want, our website, I hope it tells our story better than I can tell the story. So you can have more info there. What is the purpose of this session? We want to do it practical, of course, but I'm not necessarily expecting you to become better at AI with this, the practicalities of AI. I expect that just by looking and having a conversation of tools, because we're going to look at a lot of practical examples, we can think of, okay, what can I expect from my teams that use AI, right? We want to have this different angle, to have this conversation. So that I have a commitment, or I have a project that I need to hand over to someone, how AI is going to play that role there. What can I expect from them, and what I cannot expect from them, from my team and my associates or whatever, or agencies like us. So if you hire an agency that uses AI, what can you demand and what you can't expect? We're gonna see a little bit of annoying slides at the beginning. There's a little bit of theory that I need to contextualize the rest of the demos, and then we just jump into every demo that we will have time to see. You will get the slides if you want, some video if you want. Are we? That's fine? Is all good?
The mic
it's not working. You
No.
can tell me that. Okay, sorry. That's me.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. Give me a second. Isn't it?
It's turning on and turn it off again, and that's it.
The old trick, yeah? I know that one. I basically made like, and it works, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's 5 years of my career in IT. Summarize. It's okay, right?
Yeah,
Thank
in
you.
theory.
So let's go. I like to start with this slide, because this summarizes what happened to us as leaders when we work with AI in our companies. This is the growth of technology. Technology grows super fast, especially now. The capabilities that the market can offer out there is increasing exponentially. However, the technical growth of capabilities of our companies, they tend to flatten, right? So there's a huge gap of new fancy things out there in the market. And I don't know about you, but this is basically my stress. It's like, okay, what I need to pick, because I have this many limited time, attention, budget, whatever. So there are so many things happening now, and we have the tendency of rather embrace everything and doing insufficient things of every bit, or just get stuck by trying to analyze what we have there. So this is what I try to do during this session, just looking at options that there are in the market, right? And see what can fit our needs. In my opinion, or at least in my case, this is the most stressful thing that I have right now in my plate as a leader, as a manager, what I need to pick. So, choosing what? There are way too many things of, sorry. Too many things doesn't work, the color system doesn't work. Too many ways of categorizing AIs, right? This is one of the many categorization, which is a mix of the technology plus the usage that we have. In this session, Okay, this better. In this session, this is the one that we're going to see a little bit. The generative ones, yeah, is very tiny. It's not that you're, the generative one, you know these ones, right? This is the ChatGPT, is the Claude and all of that. It's just for text, images, audio, videos, and so on. We're gonna check on analysis, specialized tools, that they are a mix of these technologies. The specialized are more vertical one. We're gonna check the agentic, and if we have time, we're gonna see also more, right? To put a little bit of context on where I see the direction goes. You know this LLM? This is the name, the technical name of ChatGPT, right? The technology, the concept behind ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek, all of that. How it's named, that sort of engine. These are called LLMs. Technical things, or how they call this chatbot things beneath. So these things that you can chat, they know everything about a lot of things. So this guy is Satya Nadella. So he's the CEO of Microsoft. I believe now is the company that invested more in these LLMs, especially in OpenAI. About 13 billion is what they invested. And the guy is saying this directly. He says LLMs are commodity. We are having that conversation before, right? You have Claude, you have ChatGPT, you have DeepSeek, you have what are they? You can have Quen from China. So you have all the systems, and it's not that much difference right now. So they look like very similar. It's not, someone is more specialized in this, Claude could be a little bit better on code, this one could be a little bit better on reasoning, but they are almost commodity. So the value at this moment is what you can build on top of them. So if you need to follow a trend, this might suggest you, let's not follow what's the last fancy LLM that by the way, sorry, large language model. This last LLM that has a 3% improvement on reasoning. Let's follow the best implementation. And to make a case about this is one of the most brilliant and successful minds in AI. Mira Murati, she was the CTO of OpenAI. She left OpenAI, as everyone is doing, not OpenAI. Everyone leaves these companies to build their own companies. If you work as a CTO on OpenAI, you go outside, say, I'm gonna build a company. How many can you give me? They get millions. So she opened this thinking machines company, not with the idea of building another LLM. She built LLMs on OpenAI. Brilliant mind. She doesn't want to make more LLMs. She wants to do practical things. So help companies using it. Right? So that's a little bit of the focus of what we'll try to see how it's a practical thing and how we can take advantage of an everyday work. Okay? So, to start, let's start with the demo, having a little bit of interactions, and let's start by the most fancy cutting edge technology that we can find, that is Excel. How about that? You were not expecting that probably. But let me show you. You ready? Should we go for the demos? Yeah? Yes. Okay, let's go with it. We expect a lot of, oh my god, we expect a lot of demo issues, as I was saying. By me touching the wires.
No.
No, okay. Let's go with that. Excel. Oh, I need to open this Excel, by the way. So, you might know or not know this feature in Excel. What I have here is public data. This public data of, I went to the website of the City Council. Public data of residors. How is the man? How is described as an English public servant of the local administration, right? And you have expenses of the visits, the trip to Madrid and whatever. How many of you don't know this button or use this button on a regular basis? You see that here?
I don't know.
Okay. Let's play. No, it's not Copilot. let's play with that. It's there embed for long time. So basically, I have a table. It's not that long table. Well, maybe it's a little bit long table. I have a few years there from 2019 to 2024. And I say, hey, let's check this data. Let's analyze this data. So it thinks a little bit. And, of course, because if the demo doesn't want to work. Okay, let's go again. Analyze this data, please. We're going to have a lot of awkward silences. So we're going to see a lot of these rebooting, apparently, in this session. Okay, what we have here. So, can we say this is AI? I think yes. It's not using LLMs. It's using algorithms to find patterns. Is that LLM? Is that really AI? Algorithms to find patterns? I will argue yes, because he's somehow trying to work at the human reasoning capacity, right? So it's closer to how we reason. It's not using LLMs, but it's just using, but also LLMs at the end of the day is just algorithms, it's basic algorithms. So I think they are. So what we can see here, okay, we are increasing our expenses as taxpayers. This is where our money goes. It's not that much, I'm not spending that much. But it is telling me the sum per year of kind of a type of expenses, which is type of expenses is here, we can say like, gastos is like traveling or hotels is increasing every year. Well, makes sense. During COVID, you will not be traveling much. Actually, there are too many expenses considering there was COVID. I guess they could try, right? They could travel, politicians, right? No problem there. What else do you have here? Okay, of course, they travel the most in Spain. Most of the expenses are in Spain. All that makes sense. Regido, which is the title, is the one that have most expenses. Also checks. Frequencies. The trip travel is what they spend the most. Our leader, Colboni, is the one that is getting the most of the budget. I don't know if you can read there. Gianni Colboni. It's open data, we can check that. It's nothing awkward here. But within Spain is Madrid. So this is all findings, right, that the tool is giving us. There are more fun ones. This I like, because it's saying, oh, there are some outliers. Okay, definitely a journalist would love to see where are those outliers in public expenses. David is traveling a lot, so he's increasing his expenses and so on. And we have Frances that he likes to go to Mexico. Apparently, we don't know why. He travel more to Mexico. He spent more in Mexico than in Spain. Some connection that maybe. So this is just a game. I have more of this type of public expenses. What we have here. Here we have for, let me check again if this wants to work. Okay, 2020, of course, there was a drop in expenses. Central services is the one that get the most of the budget. Non-financial expense, the one that gets the most as well. What else do we have? Expenses financieras, not relevant. Okay, it increases along the time, that's fine. Oh, this is not nice. This is everything medio ambiente, like ecology is going down. So, okay. So everything to medio ambiente has less expensive. Okay. What conclusions can we draw about this? Not about politicians. This is just to keep our attention in something interesting. So the system is capable of finding actually relevant and real patterns. So now let's bring this back to our real case. We are in the office, we have a bunch of data. We need to work with that data. Sorry for that. We need to work with that data and we need to send this over to our team to say, hey, this is the last spreadsheet of whatever. So have a look at everything is off. So you might be expecting before that they will go through or doing a lot of pivotable tables to look at data and squint to see if they see something. So you really don't need that. You can have a machine thinking from you. It's a button. You need subscriptions, no nothing. In your Excel, if you use Excel. If not, there are plenty of tools, right? But as I believe Excel is maybe the most commonly available. So you hit there, and the machine is going to give you a lot of insights. So what can you expect from this, from your team, using this kind of tool analysis? Let's have a little bit of conversation about this. You can have very fast insights, because you've seen how little it took after the second try, of course. But you can get inspiration. All the insights that we had a look were relevant. Most of the time you will get maybe 50-50 is finding weird correlations. You say, oh, there's a correlation with, I had that before with, I was studying neighborhoods, with the inhabitants, number of inhabitants, and the length of the name of the neighborhood. It's like, okay, that's fine. I don't think it's very relevant statistically. Why is that? Maybe there are more people living in very low named neighborhoods. But you can find really interesting things. What you can't expect from your team. I don't know if you know this thing about data analysis that is called garbage in, garbage out. So the data, if doesn't have quality, if crappy data, you will get crappy insights. So you need to clean your data. Someone needs to clean your data. It's going to be easy if it's consistent, if you have wrong dates or separators, so whatever, you need to take a little bit of time with that. Once you have it, that's fine. And also, you, of course, this is a common thing, right? In AI, you might have seen that. You need to validate your data. So you can't trust blindly everything that tells you, even ChatGPT or even the tools. You need to validate, because eventually might be a mistake in the numbers and you can end up doing wrong assumptions. So this makes sense? Yeah? Should we move to the next one? No questions, right? So I want you to use that, right? That analysis. So let's move to the next demo. Oh, there are a couple of boring slides here as well. But that's the last boring slides, because I need to contextualize. But this is about chatbots in AI. So what is about chatbot here? We'll be spending like, I don't know, maybe 15 years, 10 years at least, hearing about chatbots. What's new about chatbots? I will try to explain that. These are the first chatbots that we saw, right? This is the evolution of chatbots, if you want. They were deterministic. Pretty similar to when we call like our phone company to cancel the contracts, that if you want to hire a product, press 1. Okay, if you want to get the invoice, press 2. So it's deterministic. It's like a very structured, boring conversation with zero engagement, right? Then was the big revolution, which was this thing that is called NLP, Natural Language Processes, which is the ability of technology to understand our language and our intent. It's Alexa, Alexa and all of that. They understand what we want to achieve. They say, play this song, or put Michael Jackson, or play the last one of Michael Jackson. They understand it, right? So with NLP, we have the possibility of better interactions, because I could write directly, well, I would like the last invoice of my contract, and can understand that intent, so you don't need to go through all these deterministic tree system. That's fine, but they were a little bit limited, a little bit dumb if you want, and they struggle often. Sorry, I appreciate this is below, maybe I should have put this higher. And they all often struggle to understand the real intent. And then came LLMs again. And LLMs, like, it includes actually the NLP, the ability to understand the language, but the knowledge is infinite, right? We see that. It was trained with the knowledge of humanity. So they are very capable of understanding a lot of things. What's the problem? That they know too many things, and we want to hint them into one specific realm of knowledge, which is our company. We don't want them to talk about the weather. We want to tell them, hey, please focus on my business. So there is a possibility of doing that. There is a way of technology that it's called RAG. Doesn't matter the specification. I will tell you this. Retrieve augmented generation. Think about that. Every time you hear RAG, it means ChatGPT plus your database. Something very specific. Make sense? When actually, you might have tried ChatGPT and throw a PDF there and ask something to the PDF. You can say that you're doing some RAG there because it's ChatGPT plus a specific knowledge. Anybody of you have used notebook element from Google? Anybody? Oh, I could have shown that demo. Oh, damn, that's really nice. I definitely suggest. Well, because it's quite like this thing, or we can quickly at least show you so it sticks to your mind and you get it there. It's just Google element. Google notebook. Sorry. Thank you. So you have used it a little bit, right? Okay. I can go into the details because we might have data. Okay, this is, okay, that's fine. I will stay there. Clara, don't worry. It is there. This is their customer information. So this is what happened there. This is just a ChatGPT, but where you can drop a lot of information. So it's super, super, super custom. One case that we have used, for instance, we have a customer, we have done a lot of note-taking with them, a lot of meetings, so we can have afterwards a full analysis of their business, right? So we did a lot of workshops, a lot of information, okay? Because many of those conversations were online in Teams, and Teams get the transcript. So we dropped there, I believe it was like 12 hours of conversations. We as consultants, okay, tell me what the issue is, this and that. We drop there and then we start to, our consultants, to have conversation with the machine about things that we have said there. Like, okay, what are the main pains of the customer? Tell me the personalities of everyone. And it works quite good. So that, it wasn't, we can improvise a demo afterwards if you want. But that is, if you want, a RAG. So, chatbots. What's the chatbot and RAG thing? We can train, we can have a system, I will show you this demo right now, where it crawls our website. That means it takes all the information from our website. That, if we are doing a good job, is the place that holds the public information about our website, how we talk, our services or products or whatever, right? So it crawls the website. It stores everything in a database to be used alongside an LLM. These RAG type of databases. And then it instructs the bots on how to perform. I love that part because it's not technical and it's where you're going to spend more time instructing. Give them a personality if you want. I like to say personality. Can you read? I can maybe make it bigger. Oh yes. This is how, oh my god. This is how I instructed, how I gave personality to this bot. This is bot of Novicell. It's a little bit longer than this. But it's not that different to a prompt. It's how I create prompting. You're a system of Novicell. These are the services that we do. I don't need to tell it these because it's on our website, but it's good to emphasize things. Stay on topic. Focus on Novicell services. If people start to talk about something else, just divert the information. Sorry, it's here. So it's instructions I use as if you were instructed as extremely very clever trainee. So you need to tell them everything. They will be super efficient, but you need to tell them everything. Don't give anything from granted. Be super clever and naive at the same time, right? Explore their needs, make some questions, try to engage because it's our personality of our, for instance, in this case, account managers. Maybe there's one there. I don't want to substitute they by chatbot, not at all. Of course not. And this is interesting because I want the system that after 3 back and forth of questions, it's like, hey, ask for a meeting. We need to go to the sales part, right? I want to have a meeting with them. This is the tone. This is how we speak and use everything. Yes. And what this system like a lot is the examples. So what is called the fine tuning is the examples. So tell them exactly, give them 2, 3, 4 examples of your expectations, how you expect it to be. And that's the last part, the fine tuning, and that's how it works. Now we're going to see this demo, and yeah, we're going to ask you something. Let's go. Oop, not this one. Not this one either. I can close this one. And let's go for maybe open these ones. This is the system that I used to build this chatbot. What you see here on screen. Okay, this is how I crawl the system, the website. I go to the website and I get all the information. This is how I put the information on this special database, and this is the real agent RAG that we call about. And how you can see, these are the instructions that I shared before. It's small, right? Yada yada yada, it's very long text. So it's exactly what I have shown you before. How the chat works. This is the chat, we see that in this. Oh god, you don't see that there. Is it better now? Okay, let's go. So, help me out. What can someone be interested in the user in the visit our website? Jacob, throw something, some need.
Yes, how fast can you deliver an online shop in 3 languages?
Okay.
What was the question?
How fast can you deliver a web shop?
Yeah,
Shop in 3 languages,
for example.
for example. Not a real case at all, right?
Could be.
Okay. Let's see how it behaves. Okay. I was thinking it's grabbing information on our website and smoothing our webshop. The language depends on various factors, such as the complexity of the site, specific features. It's generic, they like to be generic, right? And the existing infrastructure. Generally, a well-structured approach can lead to effective results within a few months. I like it, it's a few months, can be 1, can be 12. What specific features do you envision for web shop?
Okay, yeah, pay with cards.
Okay.
What more?
Pay with cards, that's fine.
How do you say user login, for example?
Okay.
What do you call that? When you
Pay
have
with-
your own space as a user.
Okay, let's see if I ask that afterwards. Pay with cards is telling us integrated card payment option is crucial for a website, is important, yada yada yada. What target audience or market are you aiming to reach with your web shop?
Okay, I don't know. It's not a real case. I'll just car buyers. Yeah.
Okay. Car buyers. As you can see, I did not instruct to these specific questions. I had to do that with the NLPs and the previous technologies. Right? I don't have to. I need to give them personality. Right? Like in all those stories, when someone creates a little beast, a little golem, a little something, or a little Frankenstein, and get out of hand. So you need to instruct the personality. So we will see afterwards what can be the drawbacks. So car buyers, okay, keep interacting with it. Car buyers, okay, just understanding the type as well. Catering car buyers is a great niche. Congratulations. What specific goals do you have with your watches? Making a lot of questions like whatever. Increasing sales, more sales, always more sales. Go for the closing. I told them to go for the closing. Okay, that's it. I said after a few interactions, go for the closing. Try it for a meeting.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I can say Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. But I also ask you for the phone, this, and that. So it has that cleverness of going to all this data. So, the technology is there. There are many players offering that technology. You can build that yourself, as I showed you before. The technologies that I use is OpenAI APIs beneath. And what you've seen there is these flows is a tool called N8N. There are plenty of those. So it's not that you can use make.com plus Cloud and do the same thing, right? You want to do more demos about this?
Yeah.
Please, please. Go.
Is there a place where you can put your website and then it says, do this better, try to do this?
Yes. We can see that later with maybe with mouse. Yes, you can. These are, we will see that in the agent capabilities of AIs. But yeah, we can do that. We could try to ask this system, but the system is not instructed to check your website, only to know to work with the knowledge of our current website, of the database, the RAG database that was instructed. You can imagine this can work with your website. This can work as an internal feature for a company. Saying, I want to get all the SharePoint folders and all the technical papers of our products, so all our standard procedures, so I can have instead of an extremely infinite long intranet, I just want to have an internal channel. Limits where we're scared of sending this information to OpenAI. But if in case of one of those companies you're thinking about this, there are options of having that in your own servers and no one knows everything about your data. That is feasible. A little bit more, not tricky, you need someone to take care of that server, but you can put an LLM in your own company. That works. If I were to ask something different, let me open another window. So if I ask, for instance, I want a pizza. Interesting, pizza sounds delicious, but Novicell, we focus on enhancing your digital strategy, right? And it's what I said before, we just divert. Don't talk about pizza. We sell technology, websites and stuff like that. We're talking about pizza. How can I see you optimizing your digital presence? Okay, I want a pizza web shop. How about that? That's a great idea, and then we start a conversation. I will start to make some questions through interactions because that's what I say. And that is the personality that I try to give. This is, in my opinion, super interesting when we talk about products. Many people have many peculiar questions about products, and that's complex to handle. So this system that we have seen, the one was here, okay, when I ask questions, it connects with the custom database, which is I connect the agent, this is a funny robot face that you can see on your tables. It connects to the custom database. It can also connect with other tools. For instance, can connect with your Outlook to say, okay, I give you a real date on when we can have a meeting. But also can connect with PIMs that we were talking before. It can connect with these databases of products that companies used to have. So it can give very precise information. Like I'm looking for, let's say, furniture. I hate looking for furniture because I know exactly the length, the size, and everything I want, and they suck in Google products or whatever, I could handle that information. So I want a furniture that is exactly 120, no more than 70, this color, this material, yada yada, and this price. Okay, this is it. Okay, and give me certificates and all of that. So they can handle that information pretty good. These are chatbots. What can we, chatbots with AI, the new fancy way of doing chatbots. So if we work with chatbots with our team, or we ask our teams to provide or build a new chatbot, what can we expect? What is the good things that we have? Okay, have you seen the interaction that was quite human? Was actually, the quality was good. I didn't do that. And if I were the teams, I don't need to do that. I just piggyback on 5,000 engineers in San Francisco that did this fantastic job of having this LLM trained in a way of speaking naturally, right? So you can expect that. You can have a very human interactions, human-like interactions with your audience. That's given, and you will have that in the first try. That's fantastic. You have to fine-tweak a lot of things, but you can have that super easy. You cannot have deterministic responses. It can answer odd things. You know this thing of hallucinations? They can say in your website, if you don't fine-tune that, maybe some service is not ideal, something like that. But you have to cope with that. You need to embrace this level of experimentations. I work in this industry for the last 25 years. And I remember the beginning, customers didn't want to have nor a form on the website. They would say, hey, but what if the customers complain? So that's fantastic if they complain. You get information, so you expect that to happen. So there are always mistakes. What if the website is down? I expect them to go to the website, I send it to the website and it's down. Yeah, it can happen. But also what the website answering 24/7. That's also the advantage. And that's why you deal with these systems. Any questions on this?
Just one, can you integrate it so you get photos at the same time when
Yes.
you ask questions?
Very good questions. I've seen very cool. I didn't do those, but so a really good demo of a guy in the. There's a group in Barcelona, N8N, where they were sending pictures of. They were going to a construction site and there was some problem, right? So they were taking a picture. So it was understanding there was a pipe there. And was understanding what type of maybe product was there. So you can send pictures and the same.
But can you get output pictures
Yes.
together with the text?
I want a picture out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. There are two ways of doing that. The easier one is just getting a real
You could
picture.
upload some kind of database, and then you could, together
Okay.
with the text, you could get some
Yes.
illustrations.
Yes, of course. Yeah, this is just an interface as there can be many others. You also can connect WhatsApp if you want, right? So you can say if it's products, it's just I want product this height, short, leg, or whatever, and can give you 5 pictures of the products, no problem. It could also generate image with AI, right? But that's another level of complexity. We don't know if we want to go there. But yes, you can say pictures, audio, everything, yeah. And documents. Like I want the certificate for more industrial parts. I want the latest certificates of this and that. Yeah, here you have it. That's
I mean, you have uploaded your company information,
You need to.
everything, and together with that you have
Yes.
uploaded photos.
Exactly.
And it will be integrated. Yeah?
You need to upload. Well, that's one strategy. Or you can tell the system to just go there and grab it. So every new thing that you put in a folder, the system every day maybe is going to go there and get the latest parts, latest pictures. Any more questions? Let's go for another demo. This worked from the start. Hey, that's not bad. So what else I have for you? Oh,
Wow.
okay. We will build a website. How about that? Let's give it a try. But here I need your help, if you can. So this is a tool that helps us prototyping a website. There are plenty of these. We like this one. And we can share also others that we can have with you. So let's try to sell something. So a web shop for, what are we selling? What can we sell?
Cookies.
Oh, I'm hungry. You shouldn't have said that. Cookies. They help me giving more flavor to this prompt. Cookies. To what kind of where geographically? Where are we based?
Barcelona.
Okay. Workshop for a company based in Barcelona, selling cookies. Some differential. What are cookies have?
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free. I like that. Good.
And for business events.
Okay, I like it. I like those ones.
Yeah.
I'm selling gluten-free cookies for business events. Should go with pricing. 3 pricing options.
Wow.
20 cookies, 50 and 100. Is that pricing? It says charge, packs, options. Let's ask 5 pages. Otherwise, we can ask them to build even more. So it's just a prompt. And the purpose of this is not just to get our website, but to inspire our teams and validate a few things, right? Let's say we are talking with our bosses, with a team, with a customer. See, this is a good way of interacting with them. So from scratch, what it did is just to build this sitemap, which is cool. So we have the home, products, pricing, contact us, and a specific product. What we're trying to do in the home, it tells us already the sections. So I have the navigation, of course, the header, feature section, highlight the unique selling points of the gluten-free cookies, such as health, benefits, and taste. It did by itself, I didn't instruct that. And if I want to build the blocks, let's say, of these product, for instance, or the products, which is the collection of products, I can just hit here. Okay, e-commerce, feature sections, testimonial. I would like to see that part, and the product itself. Okay, feature section, yeah. Okay, let's go back to our home. We have a call to actions, and we have a newsletter. I can re-prompt this, prompt visitors to sign up for a newsletter to receive daily news, because we are very spammy in this cookies webshop. Okay, let's go now to the next step. This is already nice, because it's giving a lot of information of how can I structure my site, right? Would be nice if it give us some visual guidance. Hell, it does. So I have what in the industry we often call like a low resolution, low fidelity wireframes. So it's just a visual representation of what could be a website, but without focusing on colors, images, so we can focus on information, right? What we want to show and portray there. Delicious gluten-free cookies is not bad as a copywriter, right? Decent. And it's suggesting to show that way. I say, well, maybe this image I don't like that much. I can fine tune this. So if I were sitting with my boss, with my agency or my customers, I'll say, well, could you have something maybe like this? I like it more. Okay, that's fine. Or this specific one, like maybe this one. Yeah, I don't like this much. Let's pick maybe 4, or maybe replace the component altogether. And I believe I like maybe this more. So I have this opportunity to work with them, to check the text, to check the buttons, to validate a little bit of the copies and all of that. And this is already great. This is fantastic. We can agree on how it would look in terms of structure, a website, and we can agree on the main blocks of a website. Saying, okay, this is what we want. This is just we want to talk about this and that. Fine. But these tools allow us, and this is not AI anymore, to see some visuals of our cookies business. So it's not showing pictures of cookies. We can put the pictures that we want, but it lets you play with the visual. You can randomly go with a different type of color schemes, as you can see. So maybe I like this one with, let me change the color. What inspired cookies? Maybe I like this one. And I can lock this one so we don't discuss more about this color. And I want this other one here, and so on. And I can keep experimenting with other colors. I can keep experimenting with the typographies, how the buttons are shown, and so on. Then what are the next steps? I say, okay, this is good enough. I think this is a good representation, but I want to show them more ideas, more concepts. I can duplicate this one, and I can have a different random idea of how it will look graphically. Same goes for duplicate, and let's have another one. Give me something, sorry, there is better. I like this more. So I can pitch my concept afterwards and say, okay, this is what I suggest, let's go with these 3, in this case for the sake of the time, very similar visual proposals. But the idea behind this is not having the website. Of course, I can export a few assets. I can export the styling, I can export the text, I can export a lot of things, but it's not necessarily a website in itself. Because this system at this moment, at least, it doesn't expect to build a full website. It expects to give you a tool that you can use to quickly interact and experiment and validate things with your stakeholders. That's the full scope of that, right? Let's go again to our slides, and then we can do our more experiments if we want. Because I want to leave something clear here. What can we expect, or we can expect from our teams? So we can have with these extremely short go-to-market activities, because we can validate ideas very quickly. Typical case, our bosses, agency, or whoever is going, we need a website or landing page for selling these products. Are you sure? Yeah, we need it. Okay, we can build that properly in a mock in a couple of hours. We can have a look at those and say, you really like it? You think this is going to work? So you can really validate ideas, and if you can work, and they work, you can start to work with them like building MVPs or proofs of concept very quickly. What you can't expect from this is not giving real creativity. Okay? It's very narrow, the options that it gives you. You can't substitute a designer. I'm not a designer. I'm not able to understand or pick or the best color scheme or typographies or something. Most important, you can substitute a UXer and not a copywriter. It does nice copies, but if you want to have something very special, very yours, you need to put that human effort. Again, this is a tool that gives superpowers to graphic designers, people that understand products, people that work with this already. So if you jump in trying to skip that part, skip the professional at this moment at least, it will be you will struggle. But you can maybe validate something yourself at least, right? Something that I didn't show here is that you have the option of, going back. So seeing this in full screen. So explain how it's a website. So you can validate that as if it were a website. You can talk with your business and boss and tell, okay, this is what you have in mind, this is what you envision, and so on.
Does the link works? Does the link work? No, it doesn't link in between the pages.
No, I can still change the colors here, like this doesn't do. They don't. There are other tools that they do these things. So they build us the website full completely. They're not as fast, as efficient as this one. For the demo, I prefer to bring this one to you because it works faster. And it's nicer. And it's how we do with our customers. We interact with this tool to, okay, sit together, let's build a website. It's not something different like if you want a house built for yourself, who doesn't? 60 years ago, you will sit with someone that has a pencil, right? And paper. And okay, let's try to draw some ideas. Now you have your mood boards for building a house, and then of course you go with CAD and all the software. So it's not that different. Any question?
I will have two comments. One is you consider really that all these tools are like a support for professionals to make things quicker, not really substituting the professionals.
I mean, I like at home to do, I'm a the handyman at home, that's me. I can do a few things. Can I substitute a plumber in a very small, tiny fixes? I can. Very tall, tiny, irrelevant things like, okay, you need to unscrew the shower something and put a new one. I can do, I feel comfortable. Can I change a pipe? No. So it's not that different. So can you play with that to validate like a small POC that we have internally? Yeah, go ahead. Do you want to build the main website of your company without knowledge about branding, graphic design, UX writing, and so on with a tool that has limitations? Don't do that. Don't change the pipes of your home if you're not a plumber.
And all the pictures and all the images that is using are free. I mean,
yes, they are, but it's a very good point because what you can do is change them and put your own.
okay.
That will make it feel more natural. So you can upload your own pictures.
But eventually you can use those ones because are supposed to be free, no?
These yes are free. Yes, exactly. I think it's Pexel or one of those, right?
Like get the images or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
So this website prototyping can be fed in directly to a website generator that says
That's
fly, certified.
your name, sorry?
Sorry?
Your name?
Christian.
Christian is a really good question. Because they work very closely with this other tool which is called Webflow. We like it. So you can, it's not direct export, but you can export most of it into this CMS that is called Webflow. You have to do the piping afterwards though. It's just put there in a static way. You have to do a lot of configurations. For instance, if you have news or blogs or products that we've seen there, you need to configure them in the system. You can also export HTML and put it and bring that to your WordPress if you want, but it's more tricky.
Squarespace?
Come again?
Squarespace?
I don't think it can. Squarespace tends to be like very close in itself. Like it's really nice. I like it. It's super elegant, but I don't think they allow that. I don't know the tool that much, to be honest. But yes, and something that is just this last slide that I have for you in the last slide. So it's a super spoiler. I want you to check the AI roadmap of your tools, if they are in line with what happened in the industry. Because every tool, CMS, or internal tool, or corporate tool that you have in your company, check the usage and the direction that they take in AI. They're all starting, as Mira Murati is trying to do, they're trying to have practical things. But most of them just put a chat. We say, okay, it's the beginning. You have a chat. Yeah.
A quick question, because we're a little bit in the same industry, and I guess you also work with Adobe
Yes.
applications.
Yes.
Do you have the same sensation that they are a little bit behind on the quality and the features on AI tools than, for example, Claude or Leonardo and all these kind of things? And it seems,
Could be.
to me, it seems a little bit that they're behind. But what's your sensation?
I agree with you. They were, in a very specific moment, they were front runners because the integration that they have on image generation in Photoshop was amazing. And it was one, in my opinion, was the first real practical applications. Not fancy, not crazy stuff like, okay, like a dog blowing candles type, but then I don't have control of anything. They start with a very practical thing, but I agree with you. They're a little bit behind that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not just me.
No, that's true. It's also, I agree with you. What happened now, this tool, I believe is 12 crazy Australian guys that are building that. So it's crazy what AI allows that. Just a small, tiny group of people to build unicorns. That is just bananas. I love it. Because it's not the hegemony of the big companies. They're very small. The thing that happened with DeepSeek, I don't know if you follow that news. OpenAI, they have investment of I don't know how much. I think in the range of 30 billion, something like that, as an initial investment. If only Microsoft put their 14, I believe, and a tiny company in China had that same result. So there are a lot of underdogs coming with a lot of strength. Yep.
This tool is to compare with Replit, or are there, how many tools are there to do this?
With this, you have a nice one that does also a website which is called Frame. That is Frame, though you have the website already, and it's nice, though it's very limited. But many designers, they like that too. So I know that one Webflow also gives you that, which is the tool that connects directly, but it's horrible. The feature in Webflow is you hit the button and you need to wait. It generates the images, which is a big mistake because it's crappy images. It's like you spend like 80% of your time in the budget generating images that aren't related to it. It's not what I want. Image generation is very uncanny yet, right? Yes.
So I have too many questions. So one thing is to build the design. Second thing is the website. But the most important thing is data.
Yes.
So for me, this is great. Yeah. But what I'm interested in is the data. It is about exploring the customer acquisition journey. Like how do I how do I get the data of the people who go to my website? Is that something you do as well? How do we capture the data? So that's the real purpose of having a website.
Okay, I got it. Yes, and it's completely different segment. So we do work a lot on data analysis. Like, I have to have clarity to show here. Clarity is the name of the tool. There are lovely tools. Yeah, sorry, because I took out the statistic and Stefania, she hates me for that.
I don't want to sidetrack it.
There are, you know the same thing that I showed before with the Excel, right? There are tools, lovely tools, including Google doing that gives you insights. Say, hey, look at your website, this and that has happened. Maybe you can show, maybe, I'd like to jump into problems. I need to sign. Is this, sorry. Give me a second because maybe I can show you something.
The purpose of my question is to say that's really where you can use artificial intelligence to.
100%.
The other thing is automation of the design process and program.
100%. Okay. This is what Google says about our website. Oh, come on, Google. Demo issue with Google. Okay. He's saying, oh, look at this page. This page appears to be growing quite a lot in the last, I believe it's 28 days or something like that. The home, okay, what happened with that homepage? Congrats, yeah. Okay, it grew 150%. I don't know if you can read that. It's just going to 10%, it's 150%. So he's doing something similar that Google that I showed you before with Excel, right? It's just you don't have to go through all data. Tools already give you good insights about what's happening with your website, your most popular content. This is what people love. That's for the last 5 years, but that's fine. Somehow
They love it.
okay, and how people find us is that we are the 5 top results for this and that. So the good tools aligned with AI are using this analysis, this pattern recognition to make your life easier already. So this is part of what we do as well. There is a lovely tool that we like, which is free. It's called, I was going to see that actually. And so Clarity, what they do is just record the behavior of the users in your website. And it gives you information about the behavior. Well, many people try to click here and it looks like it doesn't work. It's like, oh, it's really good. Yes?
But this is Google Analytics, right?
That's correct. This is
Search Console.
Search Console, thank you. Yeah.
Search.
It's part of the data of Google. Yes, it's Google. It's everything that Google knows about your website before jumping into your website. This is the behavior of my users in Google.
And where do I find this?
You need to type in Search Console, configure Search Console, Google Search Console.
But
Yes.
it needs to be connected to your website.
Need to connect.
with a code first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's part of all the analysis tool. You have Google Analytics, you have Search Console. It tells you all the pages that provides errors and so on.
Clarity AI, is that the one?
I love it. Yes.
Uh,
Yes. We're gonna see a demo afterwards.
Okay.
Not of the part that I'm mentioning, but another one. There was one question there? Yes.
Yeah, if I, let's say, would be interested to see the possible customers in a specific industry, in this case, biogas plants.
Yes.
I would be interested to know which plants have been authorized, who are the promoters, who are the contractors, and which other have put in applications for authorizations. Can that be found?
Usually, I understand this is what we mentioned that before. It's just for doing outbound activities, right?
Yeah.
There is one tool, but it's not using AI necessarily. You know this one like Sales Navigator, right, from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So there is a tool that is quite trendy now, which is called Apollo. We started using that recently, where you have all the information there of people in the industry. So you know their names, where they were, they need to do some filtering there. This is the name of the tool. Let me show you. But it doesn't use AI. So it has a little bit of AI, it's true, to help do quick filtering. You could type, I want people in the industry, yada yada yada, and it automatically will do the filter. So yes, a little bit of AI they have. But if you see, I want to see people like working in this, you mentioned gas.
Biogas.
Biogas, gas. Okay, I can have it as a keyword and not results. Biogas, because I have some, okay, and I have some filters. Okay, hold on. Industry. Okay, let me see. No, it doesn't have this keyword, biogas. I could try. Yeah, this is what I found globally, the whole world, right? So it is checking the keywords that are on the websites of the companies, the people that were there. So I suggest to give a look at this tool, not for the sake of the time, doing the demo of this tool is going to be a little bit crazy. You can use a little bit of AI to describe what you want, I believe. I never used that. Maybe there's some more in there. But this is a good starting point because it's telling you, I appreciate, sorry, it's impossible to read here. But it's telling you roles, name of the companies, no artists, yes, of course, there is a lot of that. And if you click it here to get the email, they charge you for that. That's their business model.
But what's the name of that?
It's called Apollo, like the space mission. Apollo, this one. It's quite nice. Other questions about the AI, data analysis? I have more.
I have a couple of questions.
Shoot.
One is, once you have shown the proof of concept earlier on,
Yep.
when you want to move it into a real platform,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
is there any limitations? I mean, can it happen that you have this proof of concept that you like it, design, the structure, whatever, but then there is limitations on moving into the real platform?
Yeah, it's a good question. That can happen especially if you have already like a website working or a server. That happens especially in big corporate, that they already have a tech stack decided and say this is how it will work. So you provide that information and they say, oh, but we cannot have this styling because we already have style decided. Or we cannot have this type of buttons because our style is different. You could have those limitations. Technical limitations is quite difficult because it's just pictures and images, there's nothing special. And eventually, if you want to export, you can export as HTML. I believe it's from here. You can, you can have the export in HTML. I believe it generates a folder or something. And HTML is the standard language of every CMS or website out there. So I would say, technically, no. Brand-wise, you can have those issues, but people tell you, this doesn't fit with the branding of the company. But I don't see any technical limitations. No.
And then the second question about data.
Yeah.
So once you have shown us the ability to also analyze some data
Yeah.
from Google.
Yeah.
Would it be any tool that is predicting or suggesting you improvements in the website, like you're not performing here as it should, or you should be receiving more clicks here than there?
I believe-
Is there any pattern?
Any specialists here in Search Console, because I believe they help you with that, of things that you should be doing. There are many of those tools. There are actually many of those tools that they don't necessarily use AI. That they help you, for instance, which one?
SEMrush.
Exactly. We are heavy users of that one.
I'm looking to something which is really, going further to SEMrush.
Yeah.
It's like, really going into your data, and if you, for example, if you can say, I want to
Yeah.
target this segment
Yeah. Here.
of my market, and I'm not getting enough performance there,
Yes.
that they suggest, okay, look into this database or go into this set of data where you can get some leads.
I hear you. There could be. So like a tool like SEMrush, but you can fit with a lot of custom context, right?
Yeah.
So do some market research, search for, so you tell them which is your ICP, what you're looking for to improve, and it gets information from the market and your real insights and real data and put them all together.
That's right.
We have a demo about that, tiny demo about that. I can show you later, but it's not production ready yet. It's one of those things that we do as a company, and in the industry there are professionals here, and we see, oh, this tool is doing almost as good as we are doing. So these things that make us think a little bit like, oh, damn, we need to up our game. So I'm going to show you that afterwards. Any more questions? Should I move to the next one?
Yes.
Okay, let's move to the next one. The next one is about prediction, I believe. Yes, prediction, but let's do something first. The lovely cookie website that we have just designed. This one in this variation works for me. Maybe you can do slightly. Yeah, maybe this. Maybe do screen capture because I know this is. I don't think there is a huge market for gluten-free cookies for business events. Should I invest? I don't know.
Make sure to add a cooking policy.
That's business there. Mostly in the EU, we have a lot of business and needs there. So let me say this one as cookies. Okay. So prediction. Do you know what a heat map is for websites? Let me heat map website.
Where the trick, no?
It's an come again?
Where the trick?
Yes, it's a nice visual representation that usually tells you, or quickly tells you, where customers are focusing and clicking more, right? So it just takes your analytics and they focus on this. This is generic pages that I don't know. This is how they interact and behave, right? So that's cool. So there are several tools. I will show you a simple one. The one that we love actually is called, oh, come on. Anyone from my team here? No. Neurons. Neurons is, but let me show you, is this Neurons? Yes, Neurons. Let me show you first the one that I have for this meeting, for this chat, which is this one. So what happened here? We're going to upload a page of, so a design of a website that doesn't exist. It's not published yet, it doesn't have any business, but this system has been trained with thousands or millions of images of heat maps. So what it's doing is trying to predict, right, where the attention of the user will be, which is interesting. Of course, it's not real science, they cannot really predict the future, but it's saying, given the training that I have on thousands, or hundreds of thousands of millions of images, I assume that your website is nice, but the image will take most interest that you will like. And your CTA is like pretty tiny little here. I don't know if you can see sign up is very small here. Of course, they cannot know if it's true, but you can validate this with the real data. Afterwards, you publish that and you see if that works. But it's, again, a nice place to have conversations with your stakeholders. You have done your design, you put it there and say, okay, you see your picture, you love the picture, I know you like that picture, but it's driving attention out of the CTA. So maybe we want to redesign our website. So this is, it tries to predict how it's going to behave our website. Okay? So here, of course, the attention gets lower as you scroll down, and you have a little bit of attention on the order button. That actually is not having even much contrast, right? If I change the color, I put more contrast, make it bigger, whatever, I might have more attention there. So the tool that we like the most doing this is called Neurons. This is the other one, if you want to take notes. I don't know how much it costs. This one is free, by the way. Free is always nice. It has a pricing. This is nicer, the implementation, so you can do A/B testing. You can do predicting A/B testing. That's nice. I don't know how much it costs. They don't give you the price. Yes?
Yes.
Questions here? Oh, we have time for showing more funny things. Should we go? Okay, let's go. What does they have for you? Okay, let's do a little bit of reflection there. Same thing. Very quick proof of concept. Very good tool to validate ideas with your stakeholders. Extremely good one, because let's say it's not precise at all, but it's somehow objective. It doesn't have a part. There is always, you discuss with someone that likes more images, someone that is more in the copies, someone is more in the accessibility or whatever. So you can have here a discussion of saying, listen, that's nice, but this CTA is too small. I believe it's not going to keep attention, right? So don't expect it to be real. This is just a prediction. Okay, this is a machine doing quite okay predictions. What we have left, this is nice. Do you know this one? I don't have slides to talk about agents, what agents are. This is a big buzzword, and definitely this is the concept of agents in AI. It's the most revolutionary things that is going to be in the following months. So pay a little bit of attention, because this is the way of it. The technologies behind are the ChatGPT, but are the ones that are going to get closer to get our jobs. Not getting our jobs, but to make us way more productive. Is what we say in the industry. We're super productive. We're gonna find sitting in a sofa with a pajamas like, yeah, very productive. What are agents? Are these LLMs capable of breaking down tasks? So you asked today to ChatGPT, I want a report on the stock market in Spain in the last 3 months. Okay, it gives you something because you can search online. But agents, what the ability they have is just taking a task, breaking it down, so doing tiny, smaller tasks, doing further exploration on each one of those tasks. They can do subtask and subtask. And the good ones have abilities further than looking in their database. They can go and interact with a website. So they can visit actually a website, they can ask for some information, they can take screenshots, they could even fill a form if that's needed. As you can understand, that takes time, but everything is handled by the system, right? Let's check some demos. This is gonna be weird demos, because I don't have access to it. I asked to have access to this new fancy one, but I didn't get the invite. That's sad. I asked to go to a party, they told me no, you're not invited. Okay, stop there, wait, hold on.
Is Manus available outside China?
Come again?
Is Manus available outside China?
It is, because I'm seeing a lot of people that apparently are more fancy than me because they got the invite, and they use that. But it's a good question, because it is Chinese, however the technology beneath, I believe it's using cloud. So it's using Tropic technology. It's a way of implementing different technology. And I believe here, okay, yes, this is important. This is the first prompt that we're going to see. We are a consulting firm about deep research for technologies in the generation AI field. Create a potential customer, yada yada, these companies, and then make a dashboard. Make a dashboard. So I want a dashboard. I don't want to report with a final result. I want to look everything, go to the website, and I want a dashboard. So what are we going to see now moving a little bit fast? Usually it takes 20 minutes to an hour to have there. So the machine takes its time, but it's actually quite good though. We were not invited, so we don't have to wait 1 hour here. So this is the prompt, and this is how it's going to work. Don't blink because it's going super fast. It's searching the website, it's getting information, it did the breakdown of the task, it's doing a little bit, you see those check marks? Probably you didn't because you blinked. And it's visiting websites again, it's searching, and you know how drop downs, it's interacting. Get another one, we can put pause actually if you got stressed. And then you get the results that it's getting in a few moments. And now it's doing some more coding, another task, more coding, more task. I like this one. I want to be in my sofa with my pajamas. I don't actually. So let's skip for the results. because even this short version could be long. No, it does. It's finished, right? So let me go from the beginning to see. I want to see if you guys here. This is the task list. This is how it breaks down the task. It's very tiny. Research with serious American B2B companies in AI technology. Create data collection structure. I cannot make it bigger. It doesn't let me. Okay. Okay. Organize company data, blah blah. Implement a dashboard with company information. And of course, this task was broken down even more with other tasks about how to code, how to do that. And the result that this system provides for this specific task is this one. Not bad of a dashboard, if you ask me. So 15 company studies. This is stage C. Here you can see the companies, all of that in general. Breakdown of employees. I was telling you before. This is real data, by the way. So you have bulk code with 10 employees doing quite good. I don't know, many of these I don't know. So this is the final result. So it took maybe an hour while you were doing the coffee. Of course, you need to validate the data because it's crazy. You need to see if it works, but it's quite precise. Or if that can have already the degree of failure that we humans have. Because, that's 1%, that's a mistake. I make mistakes every day. I send data to my bosses, and the boss says, are you sure about this one? Oh, let me review that. Oh, I fix it, that's it. That's a normal interaction. The thing that we expect, that's the mindset that we need to change. Sorry, I digress. From our washing machine, we expect that I hit the button and it works. 100% all the time. It either works or it doesn't work. So that's our interaction with machines. Deterministic interaction, we expect the calculator to work 100% of the times. It's just that every once in a while it gives me a bad multiplication. We don't know how to work with that. So we need to put that here. This is going to fail like an acceptable 1 to 5% as humans do. We need to understand that. We need to review the data if we want quality. If you assume we can work with 95%, we just maybe send them right away, straight away. I wouldn't recommend that. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. God, I like it. Another one. Oh my God. The other one was about, I like the other demo. We were looking yesterday, demos with Stefania, was about rubber mats, right? Yeah. Rubber mats. And the prompt it's very simple. This is the prompt I have here. I put the prompt because it's going to go quite fast. I need to find the best price on rubber mats. That's simple. Yeah. That's a simple prompt. And no, sorry. Rubber mats. Again. Let's go. Don't blink. Pregnant task. Searching on different specialized tools and websites. You have seen there Amazon as well. Collecting, searching, editing, getting information, completing the task. I like because it's at the X. Let's go straight for the results. What do we get here? It built an our dashboard. It doesn't always build websites and dashboards. Only if you ask for that. This is what I have done. I love because when I buy for products, I a little bit of geek myself. I need to look everything. If I need to buy a watch or a pair of shoes, I need to know all the shoes in that category, with that material, with that price range. That's me. I'm a little bit obsessive in that regard. So, okay, let me filter this real data from that. So, what type of mats? Gym fitness, that's fine for me. Price category, value, retail, I don't care. That's fine. I don't know. Maybe should I move into plumbing? That would be clever for me. So this is how it works. And you were asking before, let me show something quickly. Use cases, sorry, in Spanish. Productivity, okay, SEO. What he's doing here is analysis of a fun case because he's studying the website of a very important person within the AI, which is Andre Carpathy design. So he's breaking that into tasks and he's doing a real SEO analysis using real SEO tools and so on. Checking the website, comparison. I don't know how it broke down the tasks. And this is the audit. And it's not that bad. It's actually decent. We don't go that far from here in the audits that we do. So this put us in the spot of, hey, what about you now? What do you give me as an agency? Now that you have a tool doing that. Something similar to the plumber. I can check that, first of all, if that's real or not. Because if there was some invention there, it could be a little bit tricky. But it gives you also, I don't know if you see there, the kids see the code that you need to put in there. You need to change in the website. Yeah, go.
This is only searching on the internet. It's not using any APIs or.
Good question. I don't know. Because they didn't invite me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Give them time. So it's not. They could. I envision like a quick future when you will be able to do that. I give you another idea. This is what we're seeing now is the concept of agents, right? So this system's capable of like an Occupy, going and grabbing and searching. There are many tools, more advanced tools. At the moment, the most enterprise one of our friend Mark Benioff of Salesforce, and the other one of Microsoft. There's Copilot Agent, and there you can use all the APIs that you want. So because you have custom control there. But of course you need developers to do the piping and all of that. You can play with all these demos in their website. There are plenty of those.
How much does this one actually give you the tool of implementing? Because it gives you like do this, do that, but how much can you actually press do it?
I think I get your question. So you just need to prompt it. So all of this one starts by this. Is that your question? You just need to type that as in ChatGPT. I want this, this, and that. Hit button. Go take a coffee. You go back and you have everything ready.
And it tells me what to do, right? Change this phrase to that phrase.
Okay, for SEO. Okay, got it. I don't know because I didn't go.
Because with, like on my website, like, okay, you get recommendations. You should optimize this. You should implement. You should implement the blog. You should change all the headers, the meta text, etc. No.
Yeah.
But then you have to go do it.
Of course.
Like it's very easy
it's
to
a
get
nice
like
question.
really,
It's a really
and
nice
then you
question.
have to make that happen. And
It's a really good
right?
question. We in the agency we're thinking a lot about that, of connecting that.
And just press do it.
Exactly. It's like we should be able already to do bits of that.
Yeah.
Because okay, you're doing so lot of clever things, then I need to copy and paste, like right. So it's a really lovely question. It's gonna land soon in the industry, definitely.
Yeah.
It's tricky though, because if you expect that to go on autopilot, just going just by itself, it can create a little bit of issues.
But also because this one could connect with Shopify,
It could.
Square,
There are APIs,
Wix,
of
or
course.
etc.
Yeah.
So you need to have that connection to say,
Yeah.
if you really want to have people in the pajamas, no?
But those connections are not challenging to make.
No.
I believe nowadays it's a little bit more of being afraid.
Yeah.
So if you assume that you might have problems, errors, you can start doing that. Also the criticality of the website that is going to do that, right? If you're an e-shop, it's the main line of income and you have optimized that already, you have a system that can break it. Maybe you want to review the process beforehand. Or at least before they get more reliable, right? But I like the question. Because often we have that, you have like SEMrush, you don't talk about SEMrush. I have 200 pages, that's fine, love it. Do it. Put it there. Also because this is something that I see in the industry. Mostly when you have big websites, I'm talking in the range of 2,000, 5,000 pages. You have a lot of very valuable recommendations, lovely, but you need to go page by page and do them. So you don't do that. You have these 500 pages with the title that is too long. So yeah, that would be lovely, but I cannot go one by one and change it. You can have AI doing that for you. You can have AI saying, okay, I will make this text shorter, and I will update it. You don't have control, because doing it itself, you can review that afterwards, of course. But I believe those tools are going to go there. I believe even SEMrush and all of those, SEMrush and Ref, they're going to offer those possibilities.
It's quite expensive though, SEMrush for example.
Oh my God, this is
Very
expensive. Super expensive. What is Alberto, my marketing manager? Every time he comes, because also they increase the prices. Every time he comes with an invoice of home.
Yeah.
So, we're getting closer to the end of this session. Let me check.
Can I a little bit more high level? So how do you actually see all of these AI tools
Frightening.
in relation and in connection with Google now? Because for many years Google has been our go-to place of give me info I don't know, provide me with suggestions, provide me with options, partner solutions.
We got a lead recently, quite big lead actually, that Alberto took that meeting, our marketing manager. They want to enter the Spanish market and they want to get more users. So of course we asked the question, how did you find us? Right? This was some recommendations, some colleague, whatever. And they say, no, we did deep research in OpenAI and you were there as the top agency. We were like, yes. So we put a lot of effort on being there. So you do a lot of Google optimization because these tools like a specific type of content or a specific type of structure of content. But answering your question, this is an answer to your question. I see all these tools as a direct threat to Google.
Yeah.
That's why they're playing so hard on providing these tools. They're in a very difficult position because right now they have the best technology. If they put that out there at the same time, they are going to cannibalize their own business. So this is crazy. I wouldn't like to be in their shoes because this market is eating them because I believe 80% of their stream, of their revenue is on ads. But if they put all the information out there in the ChatGPT way, which is just paid by, or even free, constantly free, they are going to lose the main stream of money. So big threat there. More question? Should we go for maybe the last one, so we have time for question afterwards? I want to show a bit of this, but maybe I won't. I will skip. I want to show you something a little bit more fun, but I really believe this is going to be somehow the future. Let me see that. Oh, you know what? I should have recorded the screen. I didn't.
Well,
This is what it is.
it is what it is.
We can do that afterwards. Gemini Live. Let's go there. Do you know this tool, AI Studio from Google? Yeah, here is where they put for free all the new fancy toys that they cannot put out there because otherwise they will have big problems. So let me see if this demo works. I will use. This is really nice. I will use a webcam. So let me go. Okay, real-time stream. Sorry. Do I have this also plugged in? Because I need audio as well. Let's hope it works. Hello.
Hello, is there anything you would like to discuss about the image?
Yes, what do you see on screen?
I see a group of people sitting in chairs, seemingly watching a presentation or lecture. There are some small tables, some with cups on them. A man is standing at the back. Is there anything specific you'd like me to describe?
How many people do you see?
I can see about 15 people in the image.
They look quite bored, don't they?
Some of them appear to be looking at their phones, which might suggest they are not fully engaged, but it is difficult to say for sure if everyone is bored. Do you have a specific person or area you'd like to discuss?
Thank you, that's fine. So, this is there, the technology is there. You can do Sam. Sorry, I should have asked before if you were okay with this video. No, I can remove that already. But the technology is just there, you can use it, this is already crazy. What's the need for us in a daily work? Now I'll show you something slightly more, maybe boring. But I maybe believe, no, let me open, maybe Excel. I can open the previous one. As I use a webcam, I can also, no, I'm going to screen back. When you conversation. Okay, I can also share my screen. And I will share the entire screen, that's easy. Okay. What do you see on screen?
I see two different spreadsheets on screen. The first one contains information about expenses for different departments in different years, like Servicios Generales and Recursos Humanos. And the second one contains data about travel expenses for different individuals and events.
Well, I don't know how to use this tool and I need your help. I want to show a graph representing this information. What would be the best graph?
A bar chart or a pie chart could be suitable for representing this data. Would you like me to elaborate on either option?
No, I would like you to help me how to do it. I don't know how to use this tool. Where should I be clicking?
To create a chart, first select the data you want to include in the chart. Then look for the Insert tab in the top ribbon menu, and there you should be able to choose the type of chart you would like to create. Do you see the Insert tab?
I don't know, it's in Spanish.
Okay, I understand. The Insert tab in Spanish is Insertar. You see that?
Is this one?
Yes, that is the correct tab. Now you can click on the charts options, which in Spanish is gráficos, to choose the chart you want.
Which one you say I should be using?
Given your data, a bar chart or a pie chart would work well. The bar chart would be good for comparing values across different categories, while a pie chart would show the proportion of each category within the whole. Which do you prefer?
This one you suggest, right? Hey.
Okay, Okay, I understand that you selected the 2D bar chart. Would you like help with anything else, or would you like to see the chart now?
That's it. Thank you. You did a good job.
Okay, is there anything else I can help with?
So this is quite practical though. You can see how in the near future we're most likely to have this on our computers. You know the dashcam they have in our cars that is recording on loop continuously? So really when we need it, we say, hey, record this last minute because there was a car accident or whatever. It's more likely that we're going to have that by recording continuously what we're doing, if we want, of course, and having interactions with a system like that. Like, hey, why is not working? Or where should I go? We have this conversation with Stefania that we're becoming lazy and productive as well. When we work these tools like with HubSpot, we work a lot. And I was like, I don't know why it's giving me only this access, and this shouldn't be this way. So I screen capture and I sent that manually, screen capture, and I sent that to ChatGPT. And I said, why? Oh, I want to see another access here. Why it's not showing only two? Oh, you should click here, here, and there. So the technology is there. We just needed to make it easier, right, for us, or more approachable, or improve the user experience. So that we have seen, that is just a little bit for fun. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be with some premium pack in our computers quite soon to help us maybe, I don't know, think about, again, you as a leaders. Something that you do all the time with your team is onboardings. And onboardings are awful for everyone. So what if you can have an onboarding of this, tools onboarding. I know it's a culture onboarding, that's cool, we love that. No, onboarding, so okay, this is a tool, you need to click here for your holidays, this and that. So you really don't do that. So you need to be there with your computer, oh, how should I request my holidays? Go to this, click here, go here, here and there, okay, fantastic. So this is very productive. You can use that today, right? I have shown that. You cannot scale it in an organization because it's limited. Google are going to tell you, hey, don't. The organization also is going to tell you, stop sending to Google all our information, please. So there's going to be a way to do this private and increase the productivity like crazy in your team. So you have a question, don't Google it. Don't ChatGPT it, just ask your agent because it knows about what you have on screen.
But so this one now is only public, but you say there will be one that is sort of rack-based?
I think so, yes.
But you have your data and then it gives you the...
Doesn't it make sense? Of course, but because think about what I mentioned before, the technology is there. So now it's time to bring it down and make it real cases. So imagine that thing plus your customer information that knows everything that is on screen. That's it, there you have it. We already use RAG for that system. We are onboarding a tool, I hate it, because we are onboarding a new tool. Oh my God, it's a problem. Because the experience is really bad. And we put all the instructions, custom instructions. One of the real tools is a PSA, a tool for managing projects. The official manual plus our custom one into Google Notebook. So we do that already. We have our own Google, but with a talking agent, it's slightly more fun and quick, right, to do. Questions before the last slide? We're on time, right?
Yep.
Okay. I have another demo, but I was expecting this to be the last one. The last demo, I can send that to you. I want to take enough time to do a quick recap. Okay, just to put the context. We've seen a lot of things there to sparkle our curiosity. That was the purpose. We didn't go into depth in those ones. We want to see how there was happening in the industry. And for every demo, we try to put a little bit of the context of, okay, what now with our teams? What can we expect to our teams? What can I make our organizations AI ready, right? So first of all, these things happen, so they are there. You need to be curious. You need to go, you need to dedicate 10, 15 minutes every day to see what's out there. In whatever way works for you. Just watch some YouTuber that you like and speaks about AI. That works quite good. If you want someone that you're happy with their style, subscribe to newsletters that talk about AI and news. That's also really good if you're more into reading. Podcasts, those work quite good. 15 minutes is more difficult because they tend to be longer, but just listen 1 or twice a week, right? But you need to do that consistently because what we are going to do is to connect the dots. And you cannot connect many dots just by this session because you need things to sink in, watch another video, hear someone else talking, and then you will connect the dots of your industry. So be curious, go there and search and read everything you can. This is what I was mentioned before. When I say experience, sorry, that's user experience. Can be confusing. The cutting edge technologies already don't add value. There's a new LLM that does crazy stuff, yeah, but adds way more value. A system that puts one and one together. I don't know if you know the story of ChatGPT. ChatGPT uses an LLM. This technology, this LLM, was there for almost a year, I believe, and no one was using it. So OpenAI, they launched this API, and thought, wow, this is revolutionary, no one is using it, okay. Let's do an internal, they make jokes about this because they use a quick internal proof of concept when you can chat with it. And that's how it was born. So the power of the technology was there sitting. They have to build as a side project something that was called, well no, from the beginning, it was called ChatGPT. And now it's the main interest of business. So you need to look for user experience, for something that adds value, not for technology in itself, because the available technology is already there. You need to review the roadmap of your tools. Like you were saying before, I the right roadmap because I see like Adobe is lacking a little bit. Happens in big companies, right? If you're about to choose a new tool in your company, definitely check the roadmap. The ways I do that, I'm a little bit obsessed, what I do to check the roadmap, I go to the website, I look the blog. Usually the blogs, they post the news, the updates of the product. Right? A lot of general information, but they post the update of the product. So you will see what they're pushing out there, what is the information, how is the consistency, and what are they doing in regards to AI. I also I go to Google, to LinkedIn, and see how many people were there, where it's sitting their IT system, IT teams, and all of that. So look if they are aligned in AI, because now you're betting in a tool on a horse that needs to be from running. So check that. Super important to enable your team. What does it mean? If they say, oh, it's a cool feature, I'd like to try it, and you check and say, wow, I wasn't expecting this. This is 50 euros, it's not that much, but it's 600 euros a year, so do it. Do it for the sake of the test. Get 1 month, 2 months of subscription, and then you cancel that. Quick tip, if you want to do that test, the very first moment that you pay, you cancel right away. Because it would. Sorry?
Can we say that?
Yeah, I don't know if it ever happens to you that you want to test one tool, and then you forget and you've been paying there for 3 months, 4 months, it's like, oh, I hate it. So the very moment that you pay, if you cancel right away, you will get the month anyway for testing. So you don't need to put a reminder in your calendar. So do the tests. So try everything that is out there, take the time, and mostly put a success criteria in your test. So I will validate this will work if it provides this and that. Take 1 day to experiment with your team, and more time at the end of the month to say, okay, is working for us or not? And we have done many of those experiments, right, with tools. A few. That we say, this doesn't work yet. Let's check next year, right? And last day, of course, you need to embrace experimentation. With the good and the bad, experimentation is a lot of few different things. When you think about experimentation, we're skewed to look at the nice thing. Okay, I'm gonna be smarter, or I'm gonna discover more things, yada yada. You will also invest a lot of time, you will have a lot of failures. So experimentations come with everything, a lot of frustrations. You're gonna be observed within the company, like, oh, it's the one that used that, does the stupid things with AI, they never work. Yes, that's gonna be there, you're not gonna change their mindset. Mostly if in leadership there is not that view there, right? But embrace it, that's what it is. The big price is not doing that, not the 50 euros per month. The big price is just being left behind. And with that in mind, tack very much. Any questions out there? Yes.
I'm sorry I was late. Maybe
it's all right.
Maybe you introduced your company at the beginning.
Yes.
Or you would like to say something additional now?
From the company?
About yourself and Novicell.
I can start from the beginning. Yes. Okay. Hello everyone. No. What we do, we're a digital agency, right? Actually, what we do is just we build websites, e-commerce, PIM, so databases of products, and we keep them live with SEO and paid campaigns, and we take care that everything is well connected and efficient with our IT department. So we do the software development, back and fraud and integrations, and we are the Spanish branch of a Danish company called Novicell with HQ in Aarhus. What's the pitch? My boss is never when I do the best pitch. It's never. Are you having it on camera?
I have it.
More questions? Yes.
The website says, this is on the culture path, it says direct and blunt. It's, the company, the way of communication is direct and blunt. Is that because of the Danish origin, or?
I don't know. Now we start in muddy waters. I would like to
use the phrase.
Okay.
I look at it as like direct and blunt.
Yeah. I don't say that. That's more maybe my personality. But I don't know. Oh, this is muddy waters. I don't want to go there. But I don't see Danish communication culture of being blunt. It's direct, not blunt. I like blunt communication.
And then you also say Nordic and Mediterranean.
Yes, I like that. Yes. That big.
And how does that manifest?
That maybe that's more marketing. We have a very well expressed way of communication. We try to avoid a lot of overused words and all of that. We have a very well structured. But yes, that's the fun words that we put there. Direct and blunt, yes. We say that our style of communication is like we are in a networking event, and some ask you, oh, what you do, like your question, what you do in the company? My type of answer is, what is our style? Instead of answering, this is what you see in the website. Are you having problems with your visitors? Don't you get enough engagement? Would you like to succeed in your life? Invest in Novicell. We're the best. You know, the text in the websites are that kind. We move away from that. We're direct, maybe not blunt. More questions about AI? Yes?
I was just thinking the future of the website itself, because if you have this AI agent, why isn't this the website itself?
I love it. Yeah, it could be. It could be. I believe there are two things there. There might be many users moving there, but we have habits that are most difficult to break. So let's say you're experimenting, you're researching your next agency, for instance, like Novicell. You would like to see their website anyway. You would like to see pictures. You would like to feel what they do, how they are. So that is going to be there yet.
But you said before, because I asked you the question, can you have photos when you make prompts?
Yeah, right, but it's not the same, right? Because you don't control the brand. Maybe you will lose control of the brand because you want to have the right picture in the right moment. So in the website, you have engaging pictures there, but very precise and professional in the landing pages of the services, right? You would like to control that. But I'm sure that a part of the traffic is going to move toward that direction. So it's already doing that with ChatGPT, right? It was already with Google. Google trying to get all the attention. It gives content of your website without you having to go to their website, right? So
maybe they will allow companies to have their small branded space within a chatbot, maybe.
It's very likely once they start to finish the pile of money, they need to think of monetizing the tools properly.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting. All these tools now are super cheap. They're gonna be cheaper, but they're also burning investors' money.
But everybody said now social media is going to kill the website.
I
didn't happen really.
It's a good analogy, exactly. It's a good analogy, exactly. Like, there's yet space for websites to be built and made. More questions? No? Okay.
How much? It's just a practical question because you also need to get back and work and make your AI bots do everything for you. But is there time for a coffee? Or
of course, I have plenty of time. You're happy to stay. You have to stay all the time you want to do networking, to do coffee. There is juice, everything. So we don't have another event here.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Me olvidé de grabar.
Ya, lo noté en la mitad, pero no te iba a decir.
Podemos hacer una prueba después de grabar algunos trozos.
Sí. Igual todo, hay un montón de contenido.
Hacemos una foto de todo el grupo antes que la gente se marcha.
Sí, claro.
¿No? Está bien.